I've managed to grab a weekend to myself instead of either working with work or working at home doing the garden. Although over the summer my garden has transformed amazingly, and if I get the opportunity, I'll put a couple of pictures in later to show you some of the work I've been doing. It is starting to look quite spectacular. 2 nights, I've got an hour's worth of light left. I need to get set up. I'll explain where I am in a bit, but also I'm trying a new bait this weekend. I'll also explain more about that later as well. But yeah, totally new bait system. Not a lot of people on at the moment, a couple of pike fishermen over there. I gotta stop waffling because I need to get set up before it gets dark. I will talk more about the baits later, but I need to get these out before it's too late. So the first rig I'm using is a snowman. I'll talk about this later. I'll show you all about it, but I just need to get this into a little PVA bag and get it out. It is dark now, as you can see, but I just want to get fishing, and when the sun comes up in the morning, I'll explain a lot more about this bait. And I've just had a couple of surprises that I wasn't even aware of. I love this pre-mixed PVA bag mix. It smells fantastic, and it's a combination of both pellets and crumb. What you will see is a little bottle of juice, a little bottle that comes with it as well, PVA friendly, so you can get that in there. The fact that it's dark and I can't really review the bait in the dark properly for you, so there is something I can review for you in the dark, and that is a beer. And this is a Brewdog Aldi IPA, a sessionable IPA Pale Ale, 4.5%, made obviously specially for Aldi by Brewdog. Never had it before. Let's give it a go. Oh, I've got a cat. I got a visitor. Oh, little caddy. Hello, little pretty cats. I haven't seen you for a while. I thought I felt something move. Hey, little pretty cat's here, look. See if he'll jump up. Come on. Come on. There he is. Say hello to Mr. Fennel. Meow, meow, Mr. Fennel. Go on, get yourself down. Come on. That's it. I haven't seen that for a while. Anyway, here we go. It feels like a weak Brewdog or Punk, is it? Yeah, it's not. It is definitely light. It is a lighter beer. Not really my cup of tea, if I was to be perfectly honest. Not horrible, but I certainly wouldn't want to do a session on it. 3. So all 3 rods are in now. They're all snowmen. I've got one high quality bottom bait. Explain tomorrow. And I'm using 2 boilies from the session pack with the bag mix. I'm 6.5 wraps, 7.5 wraps and margins. That's how I planned it. I'll show you all again tomorrow. And obviously with the time I had, didn't really have a lot of time. So I actually put my bivvy up first rather than my getting the rods out. But I did have time to fill, let it, clear spots. I basically picked obvious spots for this area. So the margin here, little clump of reeds at the end of the reeds, obvious spot, drop the lead on it, clear. Over there, prominent bush, just came back a couple of feet off the bank, clear spot. Prominent marker over there, just came back, clear spot. So they were easy to find because they were pretty standard clear spots that you would just expect other people to use. Now, could that be a double-edged sword? By putting my baits on where everybody else fishes, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Well, it's how you look at it. This is not a very wide water, so there ain't that many places for you to. It's only 6.5, 7.5 wraps. That's it. You ain't getting any further out than that. That's the bank any further. So it's not wide. So you don't have a lot of water. So there ain't many choices. So if you've got yourself a clear spot, which is probably used by pretty much every fisherman, then my own opinion is fish will visit that spot and they will feed from those spots because there's constant food. Excuse me, because there's constant food on those spots. That's how I see it. You may see it differently. That's absolutely fine. That's my logic. Absolutely chuffed the buggery to be out. The weather's been kind to me at the moment. Most of the country is in storms, but it's the 3rd of November. And there's a storm been brewing around for the last few days, and I was going anyway. I've been working that hard at home, and at work, I haven't had a chance. This is the first day off, doing nothing except fishing. Well, actually, first evening off doing nothing since the walking in September. And if you haven't seen that video, it's a good one. I know a lot of you fishermen will watch fishing videos and don't want to watch walking videos. Watch it anyway. It's a really good video. There's also another video out on the other channel doing a ghost hunt. I keep them separate because I don't want to mix them all up together too much. So there is another channel out there. I may tell you about that later as well. So yes, I'm really pleased to be out and about. I'm really pleased to get on the bank at long last, give myself some me time, which is what it's all about really. And yeah, bring it on. New bait to try. I really hope I get a fish on it. It would be fantastic to be able to pull something out on this bait. Anyway, see you in a bit. Cracking night. I've got clear skies in front of me. I'm definitely facing north because I can see the plough and I can see Polaris. So yeah, absolute cracking night. Although I have put my winter warmer on. I did have a liner just a minute ago, so something's down here. I know it was a liner, but there's something in here, which is good. I think the biggest on this lake is about 28 pound. I could be wrong. If I am wrong, I will update it on the screen somewhere. I'm fishing in my own water at the moment. I've not spread my wings out because it was too dark. Didn't have a lot of time, so I'm fishing in my own waters and I'm with bags. The only thing I did bait up, just literally a couple of small handfuls of boilies, was on the margin swim this side. And I've just realised as well I haven't put any back leads on. So chances are if I do get a run on left or right, then I'm going to probably pick up the other line. But I'll deal with that when it happens. I could just jump up now and put a back lead on, but don't want to. Can't be bothered. I may regret that. Let's hope I regret it. Good morning. Lovely coffee with special milk. Super duper. So let's talk about the bait then. What bait am I using this weekend? Well, I'm using Bait Guru baits. And why am I using them? It's because Paul, a friend of mine from the charity event fishing, Chuff. Oh, by the way, that line's still open if you want to donate. Paul knows Mark and Brendan and Ian from Bait Guru, and he said, look, I've got a friend of mine, does a bit of fishing, does a few videos every now and again. Why don't you drop him a bit of bait and he can review it for you on the bank? And I must admit, without trying to blow any smoke at anybody's butt, I do like what I see. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I really do like what I see, and their flavours are awesome. I was sent what they call the Sessions Pack, which is specifically designed for a weekend session. Right then, I'm going to stop myself right there. Now I'm in my man cave at home, and the reason I'm here doing this bit of the video is because I was actually describing things incorrectly. I was talking about weekend packs, and that's not what I had. So because of that, I was getting things a little bit wrong. I was wording them wrong, and I've decided just to do this little bit. And if you do want to know what session packs they do and what bundles that they do, then this is a web page to go to. So let's get back to the bank. Let's do a bit more waffling. Let's get the rods back out, because I know at that time I'd just been to the ablutions and I needed to get the rods back out again. Oh, got some new rods coming. Got some new reels coming. We'll talk about that another time. I'm not trying to sell the stuff. I'm just being honest. I really like the weekend session pack. I really like it. There's quite a bit of bait there, and especially for winter. I'll be lucky if I use all that, but I really like that. I love the fact that you can just grab a bag off the shelf and it's designed for you, the fisherman, for the weekend. I just like that. So don't think I'm turning this into a sales thing. I'm not. I'm just reviewing it. I'm being honest. What they also sent me was some high-class hook baits. Now I know these are built up layer after layer after layer after layer, flavoured and built up, and they're lined. And just before they come out, they're at some added flavour put in them as well. These are designed to break down. These are designed to the crust to fall off and leave flavour in and around the water. That's what these are designed to do, and they smell gorgeous. What they also put in for me was some wild berry halo wafters. Now, wild berry, how I haven't eaten them, I don't know. They are absolutely, we all get caught by the smell, don't we? But oh my word, they just smells like sweets. So there's some wafters there. They also sent me some Remix Halo. So these are toppers. Oh. Now these are designed for on top, you know, like your snowman rigs, just to give it a little bit of extra buoyancy, critically balance your bottom baits, whatever you want to do. Lovely. Also, I got some liquid food. And finally, they sent me Halo Wild Berry. And if you was to akin this to anything, it would be its competitor. And I think we all know what that is. And you just want to add that to your lager and lime. Or maybe even top that, maybe even top a cider with it. That smells absolutely fantastic. So they've given me quite a lot of baits to try. Now I probably won't be able to use all of that this weekend because my fishing time is limited. So I have to be careful and not to mix and match too much. Now the flavour I've got from my baits, from my boilies and from my PVA bag system is Jungle Mix. Jungle Mix can be used in the winter. Even with the high citrus toppers and halo impregnated wafters, they still work and fish in winter because it's the citrus flavours as well. So you've got, now that is very nutty and chocolatey, and I'm getting chocolate and nut. Now I don't know what the chemicals are in here, but Mark the chemical guru for bait guru knows exactly what's in here. I don't. Now, the test is, are these home rolled or are these blanks that have just been flavoured? And I already know the answer to that because Paul told me. But when you crush them and you open one up, this is not a blank which has been flavoured. That bait is rolled and flavoured right from the word go. I'm not saying everybody buys blanks and flavours them up, but some do. And you're not really sure until you start to split them up, and then you can see for yourself. Now, the bag system itself, I really like that because it's pellets. I think there's 3mm pellets in there. Let me have a check. Everything comes in one bag, so your pellets and everything's in there. And when you make your PVA bag, you drop in a bit of flavour in, and away you go. So that's just a very quick look at the baits. You're going to see a lot more of it because I've got to now bait up all 3 rods because I've been used the ablutions. I haven't got a rod in the water at the moment, so it's in my interest to get fishing on the limited time that I've got. But I've got to take time out just to show you what I've got. But I must admit that and that for a weekend session, I think is brilliant. Everything you need is there, and I really like that. And all these extra bonuses that they sent for me, thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. Now, not all things are good, and I have to be honest, and this is a full disclosure, I have to be honest. Both of these bags, when I opened them, the locks don't work. I managed to damage both of the Ziploc tops. Don't know what it was, perhaps I was just unlucky, but as I opened it and pulled it apart, they both split. So anyway, the bag quality is no different than any other bag quality I've seen for bait. I guess I was just lucky or it was too cold, I don't know. But it didn't work for me. So, but that's full disclosure. I've got to be honest, like I said, there's no point me just sitting there and going, Bait Guru is brilliant. But again, thank you very much, chaps, for sending me this. I really do appreciate it. And it is an honest review, and that's exactly what you want, isn't it? So there you go. Now I know this stuff isn't PVA friendly, so I have to be very careful on how much I put in, because I don't want the bag falling apart before I get it in the water. But if I use it straight away, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. So there's plenty of flavour in there now. I'm just going to put this one in the margins and we'll see how we go with that. So this one's going to be completely out of the Sessions pack. So everything that I'm using right now is from the Sessions pack. You know what? Let's go to town. Let's put a bit of halo in there as well. Well, that's probably about as much flavour as I can fit in any one bag. That's about as flavourful as it gets. I need to get that out before that actually eats through the PVA bag. So let's get that casted. And don't forget your back lead, Matt. There we go. So there we go. That's all 3 rods back out into water now. All the 3 different baits completely. So I've got the bag system complete as it comes. I've got a wafter in the margins, and I've used one of the toppers or half topper in that bay over there. Now the reason I've gone to that bay over there is because when I took the drone up earlier, there were 2 prominent clear spots which I tried to get into, but unfortunately I ended up casting a bit too far. And with the PVA bag system, I had to redo it. I pulled it, and fortunately it was just stuck in the reeds, so it skipped and bounced across the water pretty much where I wanted it. I just overcast. The second rod is in the middle of this water, because again, when I put the drone up, I could see right in the middle, right out in front of me, there is a big clear spot, so I've done that as well. The margin one, yep, margins are margins, don't ignore the margins. So I've got all 3 rods out, all 3 different systems I'm using. Let's see how we get on. One thing I didn't mention earlier, and I should mention, is that all your toppers and all your wafters, they come pre-soaked. So you don't open up a tub of dry stuff, you open up a tub of pre-soaked. So they're quite gooey already, which is really good. So it's a minimum of 24 hours soaked, minimum, before you even get them. So I thought that was quite good. There we are. I quite like the bait, to be fair. It's got some really nice smells, and now I'm just going to put a few boilies out over the top, and I've pre-soaked some earlier. Not going to put many out, but just enough to try and maybe entice something into of it. There we go, that's all I'm going to put out. Well, I'm certainly putting the bait to test, because not only is it November, the wind's changed direction, and now I've got an easterly breeze. It's not a strong wind, but it's easterly wind, and wind from the east, the fish bite least, apparently. So it's certainly getting under test at the moment. A quick update. I have seen movement on the far bank to my left. I'm not sure if it was a carp, but there was definitely movement on the surface of the water. Don't know what it was. By the time I caught my eye, the best of it had gone, so I don't know, but there has been movement over there to the left. I'm not really happy with my position of my left-hand bait, so I think what I'm going to do is reel that one in and redo that and send that back into more of the better spot, and this time clip up properly. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Breakfast or brunch was absolutely fantastic. Loved it. The only trouble is I'm now full as a butcher's dog. Or is it fat as a butcher's dog? Well, whichever one it is, I'm both. So yeah, I'm contemplating moving my left hand rod. I might just leave it an hour, but then it's something inside me says that I'm not in the right spot and I'm not happy with it, so I might just try that. So I've been working, work. I'm doing a project in Lancaster University still, another one. Been there for a couple of years now. Coming to an end probably March next year when it's all done and dusted. There's a lot of pressure on me to get that finished and over the line on time. And of course I've been doing my garden, and I'll drop a couple of pictures in now, show you what it was when we first moved in to what it is now. And it's still a work in progress, but majority was done this summer, hence the reason that you just haven't seen me at all. I just haven't been on the bank, I haven't been out shooting at all, and I haven't been in the woods for a couple of years now, since COVID really. So I'm just really lacking because of the work that I've been doing around my house. Before that it was building my extension, so it's not an excuse. I'm really pleased to have got the stages of where I am at home. It's coming on real nice, and I know my missus is happy, and as we know, that makes a massive difference. Happy wife, happy life. But if it goes the other way around, happy husband, not for long. So yeah, so I have been really busy, and like I said, don't really mind because everything's looking good, but it has meant that I haven't been doing videos, and that's where I've been. The walk we did in Scotland was amazing. It was an amazing walk. We did the 3 highest mountains in the UK, and most people think that is the Scafell, Snowdon and Ben Nevis, but it's not. It's actually, they're all in Scotland, and Ben Nevis is the highest, but then you've got Ben Macdui and then Ben McBriac, and they're relatively close to each other. But the last one, Briac, the 3rd highest, which is still 1,030, I think it is. That's a grueler. That is up and down before you get to the summit. So you gain height, you lose height, and there's a pass that you go through, which is just boulders for about 200 meters, and it's really difficult. And I found it really dangerous, and I didn't like it. And we were contemplating going back a different way, but when I looked at the map, it was another 10k walk to go the alternative route, so we had to go back through the rocks again, and I didn't like that, but it was the right decision to make at the end of the day. Yeah, amazing week. Dave and Andy and I loved it. Brilliant. That was up in Aviemore. So if you want to have a log on and have a look. While we were there, we also did a ghost hunt on Seth Moore's grave. Seth Moore is a warrior from, I think, 1349, my memory serves me right, somewhere around about then. He was the only survivor of this battle between the clans. There was 30 men from each clan got together, and they had a massive fight. And there's supposed to be a haunted grave covered and protected by 5 stones which are cursed. And if you touch the stones, something bad will happen to you. So they say. So we went and did a little ghost hunt on that. It was only about the video itself was about half an hour long, because we were in between walks, and it was within about 5k of where we were staying, so we walked out to it during the day and did a ghost hunt, and it was quite good. It's good fun. The other channel, I do have another channel. It's called Real World Discovery. Very difficult to find, actually. It doesn't come up very well at all. But if you used to search Seth Moore's grave, you would scroll down the videos, and then you would see the paranormal investigation of Seth Moore's grave, and you could be able to find the channel there. So have a look. There's a couple of ghost hunts on that. There's a good one of the Roman fort. Yeah, it's just something that Dave and I like doing for a bit of fun. Yeah, have a watch of him. Doesn't have very many subscribers, but I don't really. This is the first time, maybe the second time, that I've actually advertised it. I don't really comment on it. If people want to watch it, they can watch it. It's not something that I'm pushing really hard, although I just have. But there you go. So have a look at that channel. Have a look at the walking video. There is a video that I hadn't even edited yet, which was the Blogger Social, and that was I actually beat Dave. I beat Dave, and yeah, I was actually winning the competition for about 2/3 the way through, and I got pipped on the post in the last 24 hours. So that was a very unusual lake. Very unusual lake. Some really bizarre rules, and the shop was a bit weird too, because you couldn't actually walk into the shop. You had to stand outside the shop and tell people what you wanted, and they went back and got it for you. Bit weird. You must have had a lot of trouble in the past. Yeah, right near Heathrow, I think it was Heathrow. Right next to the M25, another gravel pit. A few miles, about 12 miles from Farlow's. If you know where Farlow's is, if you keep going around the M25 clockwise, and you'll come off the next junction, and it's on that. So that was a good session. Met some good lads again. Usual crew from the Fishing Blogger Social. You got Curly Joe. There was a lot. Dan was funny. Yeah, it was good. It was a good laugh. But yeah, I beat Dave. Yeah, of course, when Dave when Dave doesn't do so well, he gets really keen and he fishes real hard. But to no avail. So yeah, it was a good weekend. Good laughs. Met some real nice people, as always. Yeah, I should put that out. I just haven't edited it yet because I've been so busy. So there you go. Here's something interesting. Clear water uses a blue dye in the water to keep the weed down. And in the past, I've used baits, and when I've pulled them out of the water, they've always had a tint of blue on either the pop-up or the boilie or whatever I've used. Now I've just pulled this bait out, and it's been in there for 3 hours, because this is my left hand rod. I've changed it over. There is no blue on the topper, and absolutely no blue on this boilie whatsoever. None. There is no tint of blue. So that tells me this, after 3 hours, is still giving and not taking anything on. So it's not sucking up any of the pond water or lake water. It's still giving out. It's still producing and seeping. Now I think that is a huge difference. That's the quality bait, by the way. That's the high quality bait that I've got here, because it's really hard and I can't crush it. But that's not taking on any water whatsoever. That's quite interesting, I think. Quite interesting. No blue on a bait. Even baits like Cell. When I've used Cell, they've taken on water as well, and they've taken on the blue tint. But this hasn't. not a lot going on. I've done pretty much everything I can. I haven't seen anything since this morning, nothing on the surface, so I'm going to try something a little bit different. I'm going to, just on the end of these weeds, I'm just going to rake and clear a spot just on the end, just in the margin here. Now it will disturb the swim, yes, I get that, but nothing's doing anyway. My left hand rod is way over in that bay over there, which isn't my water, but there's nobody fishing to my left. I've got one in the middle, just beyond, just a little bit further out in the middle, and I've got one in that margin. And I want to create a clear spot. And I want to disturb it, and I want to churn it up. I want to get a bait on it. And I'm going to see if anything happens with that. See if I can draw them in to snuffle. Because in the past, after raking, although the fish will spook, they will come back into those areas because it's been disturbed. And I'm going to try it there and see if that works. Now, there is some weed in and around that area, not a lot, but I am going to clear. I'm going to disturb the bottom. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give that a try, and as soon as I've done that, I'm going to drop a rod back on it again and see if that makes any difference. I don't see any harm in doing it. I've got nothing to lose by doing it. So let's see if that works, shall we? It's a bit weird this time of year, but there is weed down there, and I just want to make sure that where I'm fishing is a nice, clear spot. So that's what I'm going to do. So there we go, disturbance done. So I'll just put another solid bag on that, just give that half an hour now to settle a little bit, put a solid bag on it, see what happens, because I may have spooked the fish if there was any there. I have absolutely nothing to lose by doing that, nothing. Might be the wrong time of year for doing it, but I do now know that as I was pulling that rake and I could feel the gravel and there was very little weed coming up. So what weed was there is now gone. So I know it's a clear spot. Can't see any problem with that. Let's give it a go. Proof is in the pudding. It'd be good if I caught one off it now, wouldn't it? It doesn't help when you've been fishing with someone else's line all night, does it? Look at that, I just reeled that in, I was straight into it, so that's been fishing like that all night. So I've pulled someone else's rigging. What a shame. So that hasn't been fishing at all. Didn't even know it. The hook's, it's not been in there that long, the hook's not that rusty. So there you go, shame. Well, I got my rods in. Time to use the ablutions. So that's a fresh bait. That's the one that's been in all night. Slightly bigger, very slightly bigger. Can I see a little blue tint in there? Not really. I can see it's faded somewhat. I can't see any blue. So that's a good sign. Again, been in there all night. Still looking good. Certainly not picked up any blue. Now for the sniff test. That still reeks of bait. It still reeks of jungle mix. It's still good enough to eat. That's why there's no blue in it, because it's still leaching flavours. Doesn't smell of any silt, weed or anything like that. Hasn't picked any of that up. You can still smell the bait. That's been in there all night. So that's good. I like that. That's impressed me. So I've got my bags ready to go on. I made these last night. They have loosened up slightly, but that's what they do, isn't it? But it's not a long chuck. It's just a couple of wraps really. So that can go on. Take the old one off, put that one on. I know a lot of guys use a quick change, like a loop, so they can just quickly loop on the new bag. I'm a bit of a knot freak. I don't really like using old knots, so 99% of the time I will retie the knot. It's just something that I do. I don't know if it has any benefits or not. Excuse the pun, but it's just what I do. I tie them back on again. I cut the line and tie a new one on. I don't loop it and use the old knot. There's no real reason for it. It's just what I do. That's exactly where I wanted it. All 3 rods are now back in the water. Probably they were out for about maximum 40 minutes by the time I went up and used the ablutions. So again, I've got a left-hand rod in that corner. I've got that on a stiff rig, and obviously 2 bags. These are the locations here and one in the margins. I've kept one in the margins. Last night was the only beep. I got 1 beep, and it was from the margins, and that's the only thing that happened last night. So a bit disappointing. It was a cracking night. Plenty of fireworks going off anyway. Didn't see a lot of them facing that way, but I know there was quite a lot behind me. So yeah, it was. I think tonight will be the bigger one, but I'm not here, am I? I'm back home. So here we go. I've got till about. I'm going to give myself about 3:30. I'd like to be able to get 4:30. I'm only about 15 minutes away, so I'd like to give myself about 15 minutes to unload my car before it's dark. So I'll probably leave here about 3:30. Yeah. Home in time for tea and biscuits. I know it's been a blank so far, and I really don't mind. I really, really, really don't mind. It's a shame that I've not caught anything yet, but we're here to fish, we're here to catch fish. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It is November, it is quite chilly. I think the piker over there said this morning that he probably, he thinks he had a bit of a frost on his bivvy this morning. I didn't have any frost over here, but used to say that he didn't over there. So yeah, it is quite a chilly morning. I'm not used to being out in the cold. My working in the office is taking its toll on me, so I'm feeling it a bit. I've got plenty of warm clothes, and I wasn't cold last night, but yeah, I'm feeling it this morning. Big soft arse. Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna have some breakfast, probably have a sausage butty, something like that. See me through the day, that. And who knows? We all know it can happen in the last hour, don't we? So let's keep fishing. Let's get it on. I've thoroughly loved it. And big Brucey bonus is the fact that it's a lovely morning. I actually expected it to be pissing down all day today. So any time that I've got when it's not raining, I'm happy with. If it's raining when I'm packing up, I don't care. I'm not travelling far. It makes no difference to me. Well, it's about 9:30 Sunday morning. The weather's fantastic, as you can see. Not a cloud in the sky. Still no signs of any fish. I've had a chat with the chap who's fishing a couple of pegs down from me. He's had nothing either. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if I can get some luck on my side. I'll probably give the old Carp King 71 a call. See if any of his luck can rub off on me. So let's see if Mr. Fennell will answer his phone. Hello, Mr. Fennell, how are you?
Oh, splendid. I'm out fishing with my mate Darren.
Hey Darren, how you doing, mate? You okay?
Hey, how's you?
Yeah, I am. I'm blanking is what I'm doing.
Funnily enough,
Are you blanking as well?
I'm literally we're packing up in a few hours. I'm literally just pulling my rod in now to do a tactic change.
All right.
So I can try and oh, hang on a minute, hang on a minute. Alright guys, I've just had a phone call, a video phone call. So you might know this face.
Oh, do?
Anyone know this face, anyone?
Yeah.
I think he does vlogs once a year or so.
Yeah, I haven't been out a while, that's for sure.
Say hello to me viewers, man.
Hi guys, how you doing? I'm blanking too. And I'm actually out on the water at last for a long time. I haven't been out for a while, so I think it was early summer on the Blogger Social when I went out last, so glad to get out and about, but I've not caught out. Good to meet you all.
Alright, follow my stage for this link up here, guys. There we go.
There, you're on my camera now.
Hello everybody! Hello! I'm here at the Islands Carp Fishery, blanking the arse off.
I tell you what though, I seen your dinner again.
Thought we roasted, huh?
Yeah.
I tell you, them cobstones are absolutely epic.
Yeah, that was nice. I like Chris. What a gent. He was a real gent. Good fun. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, that's it, not catching. Now, despite it being a lovely day, I actually would have thought that the fish might have come round and done a bit of basking in the sun, but it doesn't appear to be the case at all. I would have expected to see something, at least on that far bank when the sun came up this morning, but no, nothing. Really surprising. A quick shout out to Terry. Terry's just behind me, setting up now. He's here for 48 hours. Hi Tez, how you doing? Thanks for the chat this morning. Good to meet you. Nice to meet someone who watches the channel. He said I haven't put a video out for a while. I said no, I've been busy. So yeah, nice to meet you, Tez. So although I haven't finished fishing yet, and as you can see the rods are still in the water, I would just like to say a big thank you to Brad, Mark, Neil and Paul for sending me out that package. I have found it a very good bait. It holds its flavour, it holds its stink, it doesn't absorb anything from the lake, it's not taking on any tint of blue at all from this water, which is really good. I love the fact that you pre-soak everything before you send it out. That's a really nice touch, and I've enjoyed using it, and I've been really confident with it, using it, and unfortunately the fish haven't been so rewarding. But if you're not on it, you're not on it, and if they're not feeding, there's absolutely nothing I can do about that. But thanks again, I really do appreciate it, and I'll be seeing you in the future. Thank you. Well, here it is. Here we go. It's a blank. So that's it, session over. 48 hours, just under, maybe 47 and a half. I'm going to miss a bonfire night tonight, which is a shame. I was hoping I was going to do it last night. There's a big bonfire over there and plenty of fireworks going off, and I'm going to miss it. It's a bit of a shame really. Anyway, it's a blank. Don't mind. Thoroughly enjoyed the weekend. Absolutely had a great time. Exactly what I needed. I need to get out more, but now that the winter's here, I can't work in the garden. I've only got weekend work that could catch me out at work, but hopefully see you soon. Now I'm going to be releasing another video soon after this one, which will be the fishing blogger social, where I did catch, which was quite nice. So look forward to that video after this one. Until next time then, thank you very much for joining me. Maybe better luck next time for me. Until then, bye-bye. Clean, tidy, as I found it. How it should be.